thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Team Squad.
That's us. We're Team Squad.
Yep. He said the thing. He said the thing that we are. Yeah. Woo!
Yes. Hey.
Yeah, thanks everybody for showing back up.
Sorry.
We really do appreciate it.
Hey, okay.
So we're gonna swap things up a bit, swap things up, and we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into our reviews. So first up on the docket, who wants to go first?
Weekly reviews. We'll start with the long-anticipated Uncanny Avengers #1.
It's the comeback.
Great anticipation because we were hoping that it would pull us out of the suck that is Axis.
The jaws of White Skull.
And of course, Remender and Acuna do not disappoint in taking us to faraway, strange science fiction lands.
Not at all.
And I was especially looking forward to this because I love the Vision's character, as they call him, the Sorcerer of Science. The next.
Show him the book, bro.
They're great. Uncanny Avengers #1.
#1 of the 2015.
Yeah, I had to get a variant cover because that's, when Hastings gets a specific for Hastings variant, that's all they stock, so I had to pay an extra $1 for it. But
me personally, I just walk into a comic book store and I buy one of each variant cover. That's what I usually.
So do not do that.
So his kids are not going to college.
Mm-mm.
He's gonna have to sell those variant covers to put his kid through college.
Kids, like I have kids.
All right, so what'd you think of it, Jay?
I liked it. It's a different group of weirdos. Maybe not as popular as the first run, but I like the new Captain America. I'm not crazy about Rogue, but I guess she's kind of a mainstay at this point. There's some tactical blunders. The beginning, the fight scene was kind of weird. I don't understand how Scarlet Witch ended up where the speedsters were after they'd been running across half the city.
Yeah, can she teleport?
I guess. Maybe. But she can't tell when people are coming up behind her with a laser pistol. That was kind of
Yeah. I really did like the opening little montage where they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna mess those guys up. Just let me get my hands on them. I'll show them what for." And he's like, "Yeah. Whenever
You're supposed to wait your damn turn, Dave."
Sorry.
Also, we had the sentry. Like, how did they not know the sentry was there? What?
Nothing.
I mean, you got 4 people who are used to entering strange scenarios, and nobody knows that there's a sentry in the room waiting to attack them. That was kind of odd. But I love that they were all shunted to different strange parts of, I guess, Counter-Earth. And they're all in peril of some kind. So, kind of a yawn on the high evolutionary reveal at the end. Saw that coming, I guess, with all the evolutionary drops that we've heard. But overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Indeed.
Any comments on
the art? Was cool. There's an interesting thing here regarding the digital app and the difference that it makes in reading the book. Daniel Cunha seems very aware of his panel layouts being where they are in the page, so that one of the great things about the digital part is it really pulls you in. The immersion is unlike anything else because you don't see any of the other panels. There's letterbox. You get zoomed in images. Very immersive. But if you look at pages 11 and 12, there's something to be said there for being able to see the whole page. Like, it starts with them being outside and there's a light sky behind them. And at the bottom, it ends with them entering a dark space.
I see.
The contrast there. And also the fact that he goes over the panels, like Captain America here, like, and you are the Sorcerer of Science, overlapping the different panels. So his artwork is sometimes more enjoyable when you're looking at the entire thing as opposed to being in the digital app with the, what is it called? The animated panel conversion.
Augmented reality.
Well, that's the AR. I haven't tried that much.
There's a different thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When you're using the app, you can turn on... I've got it right here. It's called...
If you're using it on a phone, you can double-click it, and it'll show you panel by panel instead of page by page.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's called animated transitions. And that's what I'm talking about, the immersion, like, really amps up there. You should try it. It's excellent. So, art was solid. course. Other than just Rogue and the kind of the bizarre tactical display, I loved it.
Yeah, I did like the kind of the Tron lines that they had going in the
Yeah.
intro chase.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and the Vision's bride, you know.
Yeah.
I'm always I love me some nice fembots.
Oh, yes, you do, Dave.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I think it's a solid book. A good kickoff to a new chapter in Uncanny Avengers. You agree?
Absolutely.
I did like it. I think I might not have liked it as much as you two. I did like it, and I am a big fan of Remender's run on Uncanny Avengers. All the past ones before Axis, I really loved them with the whole thing with
Ragnarok
the Apocalypse
Now.
twins and and even the one before with Archangel.
Mhm. Uncanny Avengers.
Yeah.
I mean Uncanny X-Force.
Uncanny X-Force, yes. Yeah,
Very
so
good.
I am a big fan of that. I am a little concerned as far as like your normal comic book fan, like as far as this cast goes, like who was the most appealing character in here, I mean, you don't have Wolverine anymore,
No.
You don't have Havoc anymore.
Cap or Thor.
Old Captain, and Thor. It seems, I mean, like who do you really like? Who does your normal
who's the
comic
touchstone
fan?
Casual reader.
The casual reader, yeah. Like out of this cast,
That's a good question.
You got the new Captain America, and for me, it's not so much of a problem, but I'm just concerned. Like, will that affect how many people dive into this book?
It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, and the cast kind of seems a little underpowered too. I mean, Vision is pretty cool. He's pretty powerful. Dr. Voodoo, can do a lot of stuff, but I mean, before, you have like Thor and I mean, let's
Sure. It reminds me of
don't underestimate Scarlet Witch.
She's very powerful.
Yeah, she's extremely
but she's
powerful.
a total nut job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost tired of seeing her because it's
me
like
too.
it's almost like an hourglass, just like, okay, when is she going to screw something up?
Blow up, yeah.
Yeah.
Marvel Universe revolves around her or something.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of an old Avengers group that was pretty close to the beginning, where it was just Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, Captain America, and Hawkeye, and everybody thought like this is the weakest group of Avengers ever. But they used their intellect and strategy to defeat their foes. I think Quicksilver will draw people in, especially if they're fans of the latest X-Men movie, because he had some awesome scenes in that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's one of the poll characters.
I am a fan of Acuna's art. He doesn't. He's a little bit less inking and more. He uses more colors, and he uses some subtlety with his colors too. They're like he's very efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I think is a good word to put it, because like he can make certain panels with very minimal inks, and exactly what's going on just by using the colors. So you get more comic that way, because he can make a lot happen in a single panel with the way that he does his colors. I'd be really cool. I mean, I'd love to like see how much he actually sketches, and he does do I believe he does he do all of his art, like the inks and everything?
I don't know. That'd be
Yeah, it says Daniel Cunha artist. Yeah, he does it all. That's pretty.
Holy cow!
That's pretty amazing. That's a lot of work. So yeah, kudos to him. Really
He's had
good.
a lot of time to do this.
yeah, he has.
It's been about a month or two.
So very cool. Hope he sticks with it. I know it's an issue 1, so there's not going to be any big reveals or anything. They're building. They're building up. They're getting the feet planted for what's going to happen next. So, I'm not, I'm not expecting, story wise, it's just setting you up basically.
Yeah, and it
But
was a good setup. I
you need,
mean,
yeah, it was, yeah, yeah.
it certainly got meat enough for 3 additional books.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what all happens with each person in all these different locales, and then how they all find themselves or find each other.
Yeah. Um, yeah, pretty cool. I give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Dum, 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 dum.
Dun,
All right,
dun,
ladies
dun,
and-
dun, 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 dun.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this week we were graced with some very hot Thor on Thor action. And it
Ooh!
got steamy. And it got heavy.
It got heavy and hard.
And I'm not sure how Man Thor's gonna recover. But yeah, this week my pick was Thor number 4. Been following this one, and I was very satisfied. It was great. Starts out, we get to see the introduction of Thor meeting his new prosthetic cyber arm, forged from the dwarves in their broken speech. Seemed kind of like a Jar Jar affectation with the dwarves, but that's all cool.
Finally,
And-
we get to see where his arm comes from.
Yeah, and then we get the big showdown with Man Thor versus New Thor, and seeing who will triumph. And
I wish.
one of the first interactions that I really loved was where Lady Thor's trying to calm him down, and she just kind of tonks his chest with the hammer, and it's just like dink, and it's like, oh snap, girl, you just didn't, and it just spirals out from there. A lot of really great action panels following up. There's a really great one where you got the ice giants just saying, you know what, screw these guys, let's just smash them. And they're just trying to stomp on them, and the Man Thor just smashes through one of their ankles, coming at it, and grabs her hammer. And just lightning and stuff just arcing everywhere. And then she tosses out to deal with these frost giants, and it's just, and Man Thor's like, oh, Mjolnir never danced like that with me.
Oh no!
She has found a new lover. What shall I do?
Even makes a fapping
But-
sound.
Mhm.
So they finally calm down and start to try to work together. And then
That's what you call
you,
it.
you get a little bit of a reveal about who She-Thor might be right after that, when we have the climactic, passionate embrace
Oh.
and the bemused look
He's talking about
of
this
shock on
Yeah.
Man Thor. Oh, because at this point, he's still thinking, oh, she could be my mom? So,
Mhm.
like, he's like,
Mhm.
lady just like comes up and just, he's like, what?
Yeah, that bewildered look on his face is just classic. Like, I
they-
certainly hope not.
They are from Asgard, not Arkansas.
Oh,
Uh,
Big T, that's you, Big T.
No, we don't have banjos in the background on this one. And it kind of wraps up fairly quick after that.
Right.
Everything is fairly quickly dispatched when they're working together.
Mm-hmm.
And Malekith,
World.
does his characteristic, all right, well, things aren't going my way, so toodles. But not before just holding up Thor's severed arm and just torching it in front of him, just out of spite.
Yeah.
That was a nice touch. Yeah, you're gonna be Cyber Thor from now on.
Poof.
But it wrapped up really nice, and there's a nice little segment where Man Thor comes to terms with the fact that he's no longer worthy of the powers of Thor, and must accept that the torch / hammer has been passed. And
He kind of
I really like that. And at the end, she's just flying off into the sky with big happy, satisfied grin on her face. And then we get the reveal that the skull that they've been fighting over this whole time was a total fraud to begin with, and that it's all been anticipated. So we get to see what's coming up with that, and what the machinations with that entire situation might be. So, yeah, definitely recommended a good tie up to that whole initial encounter and initial outing for Lady Thor, and looking forward to see where it progresses from here. So what are you guys' thoughts on all that?
Hell yeah, Dave.
It was good.
Uh-oh.
It's kind of bizarre to see Thor. He's just a goober. He rushes in without thinking about things. He gets all sad and depressed. He starts to feel sorry for himself and says, "Are you my mom?"
He's definitely bipolar.
No, he's like, "Fine, the hammer likes you better anyway. I'm going home with my axe."
And my cyber arm. My
Yeah.
dwarven cyber arm.
Yeah, he just seems like a big pansy. I mean, come on. He's been around for how long now? And he's still acting this way?
Yeah.
Ugh. But other than that,
Something
That's what you
about
get with immortals, man.
I guess. It's very satisfying, though, to see finally where he gets the metal arm, well, first of all, because that's been around for
forever,
most of the year, last year. And then the confrontation between the two of them, while pretty brief, really. I mean, it's not even the whole comic.
Mm-hmm. Like the actual battle?
Finally.
Yeah, it was very dynamic.
He's not not a lot of depth to this Thor guy, so I guess it would be resolved pretty quick. But I like them working together. It's fun to see him with, using the axe.
The axe is pretty cool.
I like the axe, and she makes a great Thor. I think she's exceptional. Exceptional character. Can't wait to see further adventures.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. I thought it was pretty cool. Art is great. They kept the same artist for 4 issues. That's so. Yeah, the colors are awesome. They just
Relief.
Yeah, the amazing colors, and if you view it digitally, there's a few panels where they use some very cool Photoshop effects. Like there's a motion blur whenever one of the giants is trying to step on them, which is really I mean it's cool in paper form too, but digital it's really awesome. And then there's a depth of field panel where the hammer is coming at Thor, and he thinks the hammer's coming back to him, and he's like, come back to me, old friend. And it ends up just knocking him out. Not knocking him out, but hitting him.
Yeah.
Like, oh. So,
bump and move.
the effect right there is very
I found me a new woman.
yeah. Yeah, so some very cool different effects. Maybe if it's maybe the old school comic book fans, and maybe that might not be their thing, but I think it's pretty awesome. And if you look at them on digitally, it really enhances them a lot. So love the art, really great. They keep asking her, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I can't tell you." Why can't you tell us? You can totally tell us right now. We know why. Because it's
the writers.
Buy more books.
Writers, yeah. They don't want they're waiting for the big reveal. Who is this? But
the editorial would go nuts.
They're working together. She totally. There's no reason why she couldn't have been like, "Hey, yeah, look, it's me."
Yeah. Maybe she's hoping to protect her loved ones, kind of like
Yeah.
Maybe.
why they all.
It's obvious that they got something going on, that it's somebody that he's met before. That's
Absolutely.
close to him.
Yeah.
So
Cahoots.
So your speculation from
Thor's
a couple
got some
episodes
relations
ago
going on.
could be valid.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. True
I like it.
Believers.
I think it's great.
Very good book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pick it
This
up.
is weak for comics.
Yeah, very good.
All three of these really good. Which leads us to
Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Some mind bending, a little bit of weirdness going on here.
put on your thinking caps.
Put on your thinking caps, people. The Multiversity Guidebook.
Yay! Finally.
It's here.
Yay!
DC, you.
You need Darren to take a shit.
Here we go. The Multiversity Guidebook. So, I've been waiting for this sucker for a long time. It was. I thought it was going to come out last week. It's supposed to, and they, nope.
Needed more time.
They needed more time. And this is part of a series, The Multiversity by Grant Morrison, freaking one of those dudes that just like to twist your mind in the comic book universe. And he's a big fan of his. So we're continuing with this series here. And this is a guidebook. It's supposed to kind of like give more insight into the multiverse of DC. And I was a little surprised because when I opened it up, there's an actual comic book story in it, starring one of the worlds. It's kind of like the chibi world, like the little. They're kind of like little miniature like Batmans, and the Superman was killed by Super Doomsday, but
Little League.
Yeah,
They are.
I like that.
So I was kind of surprised when I opened it up and I saw that. And from now, whenever I'm going to talk about this, and I want everybody to understand that I was really, really looking forward to this, and maybe my expectations were a little bit too high because I was waiting for this for a long time. The content is great, actually. Like the little chibi comic inside it actually reveals quite a bit. And at first glance, you're like, "Oh, who are these little Batmans and stuff?" But it's actually quite dark. If you look at the first page, there's like several of them getting slaughtered. So
Jumps right into the creepy Dr. Savannah.
Yeah,
Hannibal Savannah.
Yeah, the Hannibal with the freaking mask and everything. Yeah, he's over there killing some of these chibi heroes. So it takes place on Earth 42, which is where all these little miniature dudes are, and it kind of confirms a lot of things about how the comic books are going through the multiverse and how they're giving warnings and how they're kind of how they kind of show the different characters what's going on in the different universes. So the comic is actually very solid. And there's a section where it goes through each one of the Earths, all of the 52 Earths, and it gives you a little bit of information about the characters in that Earth. So it's pretty solid. My only complaint about this book is it took so long, and it's an $8 book. I was a little bit disappointed with the quality of the book. I expected a really nice cover. The map, which is a really big deal, the map of the multiverse, I thought it would be a fold out.
Yeah, I really would have appreciated that.
Usually you see a lot of these comics where they have like a fold out from the opening cover. So I expected that to be right there. Sorry. And actually, I don't know about yours, Dave, but my map of the multiverse it's not centered.
It's a skew.
I don't know about in your.
Yeah, mine isn't either. Like there's a vertical discrepancy and a slight horizontal discrepancy.
Yes.
But I mean, that they can't get it perfect with a mass print run that's running at a billion miles an hour. But yeah, I would have appreciated something with kind of like the cover page that the Valiant had, whereas it was more of a thick cardstock.
Right.
Getting spoiled by the cardstock covers. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's a big book. Yes, it's $8. I think
it's reference material. You would want something that you're gonna have to thumb back through, and come back to. You want something that's gonna hold up.
Right. Yeah. Like this book had the Multiversity Guidebook had the potential to be something beyond the multiversity, something as a reference book for the entire multiverse, the whole DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of fell short to that. You're paying. I mean, if they would have added, if it would have been $12 instead of $8, but they would have made it better quality, I would have bought it and had no complaints. Mm. But $8 for,
basically a double issue.
Yeah. That's basically what you're paying. You're paying for a large comic book. The content inside is great. I love the content inside. I love the little, even though I wasn't expecting there to actually be a comic issue of the multiversity inside. Yeah, I expected the entire thing to be references and information about the multiverse. So it was a bit of a surprise, but the actual comic book is really good, and it does have a pretty cool reveal. The House of Heroes actually gets attacked by the Gentry in this issue, which is a pretty big thing. So so it actually has some significant events having to do with the multiversity comic.
You have to pick it up.
Yeah.
If you've been following it.
Yeah, if you've been following you're going to pick it up anyway. You should pick it up, but I just think, I guess to sum it up, that it was an opportunity wasted. They could have really have made this something super special, super cool, and that's, like I said before, maybe I was expecting too much.
It sounds like you were expecting more than a comic. Maybe something you've seen.
That's not unprecedented.
Yeah.
Like room for notes in the back and.
Morrison's great. I'd still. I would still clean his dishes any day of the week, but he's I don't know.
With your tongue.
I just yes, but I don't know. Go ahead, guys.
What do you think, Dave?
Empty is thy hand, empty is my mind. I have no idea what the freak is going on in this thing.
I know.
But then again, I haven't been following it like you guys have. I kind of get a little bit of what's going on. I really liked the multiverse origin tale.
Yeah.
It was really helpful for me, and it was really cool to see like all of this. Mm-hmm. Basically mythology of the DC universe.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that is awesome.
How it's all been tied together, and you've got just like a brief rundown of pretty much. I'm assuming. I'm not really much of a DC fan, but what's been going on for the past several years in the DC universe, in the DC multiverse. And I really liked how they were...
Decades?
Yeah. I really liked how Flash kind of tied it all together, how he's like
that's cool.
Vibrating in multi-spatial, multi-dimensional frequencies and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. A lot of good information. The chibis were great. Love the chibis. Just you got freaking space Batman here staring down chibi Batman, and it's so cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not really a whole lot I can say about it, just simply because I haven't been following it. The shops around where I'm at haven't really been carrying it, and they don't carry a large stock of back issues. The comic part of it was really cool. I liked the little D&D kind of segment where they're delving into the tomb of Darkseid or Darkseid or however hell you're supposed to pronounce that thing. Then
Darkseid, Dave.
Okay.
He's a pretty important.
Well, if you put the E before the I in that configuration of letters, then it's usually pronounced seed.
Yeah, it's meant to be slightly vague, like seed of a lot of
DC
evil,
does that a lot for some reason. Yeah.
But I liked how it was kind of. I mean, I've been bashing on the Wolverines a lot lately because they've been. It seems like the whole thing has been one big segue, but I liked this as a segue. It seemed like it was a nice way to put all the pieces in place and get everything geared up for whatever the hell's coming up next.
Yeah,
the amount of variety involved and just the sheer amount of mind blowitude.
Yeah,
I was satisfied. I will definitely hang on to it, and despite the seeming cheapness of the book itself, it will definitely be a handy reference. But one question: what the heck is the giant purple thing with the tentacles and the 3 eyes with the cityscape strapped on its head? What is that?
Oh gosh, that's the Gentry. One of the Gentry. They showed up in the very first issue of all this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
gotta get to those somehow.
Dude, it is gotta be the best thing we're reading. Yeah. Multiversity. I couldn't recommend it anymore.
Yeah,
and that's why it's like. Oh, it's like so hard for me to say anything bad about this issue. I think my problem is I've been keeping up with the Multiversity. I've been reading it all, so my expectations are like so high. It's like it is. I do recommend it. You should pick it up. And now Jay's gonna go off on both of us.
No, you guys have covered it all. I think it's great. I really enjoyed it. I love seeing all the different. Seeing them seeing into the different worlds, their reactions.
Yes, that was so great.
It's very good. It's
almost a comic it's a meta comic based.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, kind of like Inception, where you keep diving, especially towards the beginning, first half.
And cheaty Batman's sitting here. Oh, it's a map, and he's pulled open to the page that you're about to turn to.
Yeah, exactly. You're going further and further down the rabbit hole, down into the depths, and then it just in one page you kind of come back out of all of it, and holy crap, what is this world they're all on?
42, I believe.
42. House of Heroes is under attack, and the Chibis, empty as thy hand.
Chibis? Is that
great anticipation towards the next issue as well, because supposedly all of the interior artwork is being done by Jim Lee.
Jim Lee and Morrison. Woo!
Oh, be still my heart.
Right.
Oh. Shit. Oh.
Dave. Hello, Dave. Is the space station?
It's fine. The cybernetics kicked in.
The space station's fine.
Keep up with those protein pills.
Don't lack on that. Don't drink too much.
And who is the empty hand?
The empty hand.
I found you.
Yeah. You have more to say about it.
I thought that maybe at first glance, the empty hand saying "I found you" with the burning writing in the walls was saying he had found Nick Otan, who had just released Darkseid. But then he says in the name of the empty hand. So maybe there's a closed hand that writes and an empty hand that.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Those could be two different things. So
yeah.
But we've surely seen the fiery hand. Whoever that belongs to, we've seen them before. It'll just be a nice reveal.
Yeah, be a really cool reveal. So you have no problem with the production value?
No, because it kind of reminds me of like the old annuals that you'd get that were just like a ton of pages and
just big, but yeah.
Yeah, when you do like a really nice presentation like that, you're thinking of a story all throughout instead of like part of a story and then a bunch of reference material and a map and then more story. It just seems more like the old school.
Am I getting spoiled?
Absolutely, but
Yeah.
some of these things will, Valiant will spoil you with their presentation, and
Yeah.
DC's premier titles, Justice League and Batman, have really nice covers as well. So
it has a point where it talks a little bit about each of the 52 universes, and I almost wanted more. It says a little bit about the heroes. And,
they're meant to tease us.
Yeah.
I mean, almost all of them seem interesting in some way.
Yeah.
Including the ones we've already seen.
It's worth picking up, I just kind of, I don't know.
There seems to be a lot of blank space.
Right.
If you took out the map and the synopsis of each world, that probably wouldn't be worth $4 necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 8's a little too high, but I mean, we'd pay that just to get the story that's included.
Yeah. So
thumbs up. I liked it a lot.
I am gonna give it a thumbs up. You should pick it up. I just had my expectations really high.
Yeah. I think in a way this week kind of had all three of the books were just a little bit of a letdown. We expected more from the confrontation between She-Thor and Man-Thor. We kind of expected more from the issue number 1 of Uncanny Avengers. We kind of expected more value for $8. So while it was a great week.
While it was a great week,
there was to be desired, I guess.
But there was nothing really bad.
No, we should be thankful for that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
not disappointing at all.
Exactly,
from a baseline perspective.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, whenever you get used to...
We just got too hyped.
An artist or a writer, sometimes... And you really love them. It's like sometimes you
expect them to change the world with every issue.
Yeah, and it doesn't always happen.
Nobody can do that. For next week's books, I'll be taking Avengers 41 and catching us up with the Avengers and New Avengers, hopefully at some point in the future, leading up to Secret Wars and Battle World.
We're gonna have a nice little condensed video with all this Avengers crap that's been going on.
Juicy,
stay tuned, people.
Right. And I'm going to take the Star Wars number 2. That's right.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to be sinking my teeth into the long-anticipated Black Vortex number 1. Can't wait. So thanks, everybody, for coming on in and tuning on up. We are Team Squad. Coming back at you every week.
Right here.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends. We're here to rock your house. Team Squad! Team Squad! Team Squad!
Nice!